Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. If you went to Footbin right now and looked at the most popular Evos on FC26, you'd come across some absolutely wild stuff. People have found a way to create some of the best cards in the game through a little bit of science and calculations combined with these chain Evos that we can do over and over and over. Yeah, these Evos that we normally write off that we kind of forget to do, like myself included, I still have 11 of the party exit and 23 of the over-the-top Evos to complete before they expire soon, but those are the Evos that are helping create some of these really insane Evos. We're going to dive into all that today, as well as yesterday's content on Saturday, which brought us a very good value Road to the Final Player SBC, and we're going to look at an investment today that I think all of us should be making. Let's take a look at it, guys. If you're excited for this one, drop a thumbs up in the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, let's start with yesterday's objective content where EA gave us a couple of really easy packs to get done through the Road to the Final Play objective. It says basically use Road to the Final Player items to get not only SP, but an 85x3, 82.5, 82.10, 84x4, 83x7. Now, some of these you do have to have two Road to the Final players in your squad, but since we're getting Road to the Final players every single day from those Road to the Final upgrade packs and SBCs, it is pretty easy to do. Just add them to whatever squad you're using in the triple threat league. Of course, that is the 1st to 3 game mode that we get to do every single day for 6 games. It is the best place to complete Evos, as we talk about Evos here in a little bit. I'm going to open these 2 Road to the Final guarantee packs before we go to SBCs, because this is unfortunately a poor pack pull, but the best SBC that we have in this game right now. It's so fun to log on every day. I mean, it's only been 2 days. Today's day 3, but it's so fun to look forward to getting guaranteed promo cards. Now, all I've seen are the Women's Champions League players, though. Can I please get somebody else other than a Women's Champions League card? Literally, I'm 4 for 4. Canrid actually looks pretty good there, but I've packed Feller twice now. Yeah, I'm keep getting the Women's Champions League players. So hopefully we see a green, orange, or dark blue flare today on Sunday when we open those SBCs. Now, speaking of SBCs, yesterday we had an absolute gem of a center back SBC, and it is Pau Kubarsi. We were waiting for this. We saw the leaks, and here he is. The price, though, is the thing that makes this so good. Only 208,000 coins, 4 squads for this Kubarsi card. Now, you can look at his card and you can say, Nate, he does have a glaring weakness in some statistical areas like the dribbling, right? 84 composure, 87 reactions even is a little bit low for a center back at this stage of the game. 80 agility and balance, sure, that is a little bit low. 97 short pass, 96 long pass, great defending and physical though, and really good playstyles. He's only missing slide tackle from the defending playstyles, has pinged, long ball, has the bruiser plus, the anticipate plus. Like, what a card. 4-star weak foot, can only play center back, pace is fine. That's a really, really good SBC, guys. For the price that this is, for the potential upgrades that he could get going to a 96 rated card, even just getting 2 base play styles if they win or draw in the next 2 games that they play. Of course, you would hope that they would be able to get those base play styles. You would hope that they would be able to complete, that quarterfinal and go to the semifinal, qualify for that, and then get more upgrades. But even at 208,000 coins, this is a card you could put on a gauntlet side right now, or a past and present if you're a Barca fan, and just use it for 200K. It's a place where the 87, 88, 89 rated fodder cards from your club can actually go. So I have no problems with this whatsoever. You can see he's 89% upvoted, and I actually 100% agree with that. I think it's pretty good. We also got a Road to the Final Challenge 2 SBC yesterday, and of course, guys, we're doing the daily upgrade grind, which at most, is the daily golds and into the 83-14s, into the 86 times 2s, and then a couple of other packs here or there. The provisions packs are very key, of course. We open our first 83-14 of the day, and we actually see green. That is a Rodri? A Rodri with a lens player on the other side. I have no idea who this is. He's got some nice flow. That is a Swedish Ligue 1 lens player. That's not lens. It's Nanasi. That's Strasbourg? What is that club? I'm blanking. Hey, I will take a Rodri and I will take it in for him. And Nanasi. Conference League, Nanasi. Strasbourg, not Lens. Wrong team. That's the first promo card that I packed in a minute from an 83x14. Let me do 2 more of those, because if we're hitting, I want to keep trying. Okay, no, we're seeing gold tunnels once again. Every time I see a gold tunnel at this stage of the game this year, it is a automatic skip the animation. And the only time that kind of bit me in the butt, so to say, was last week when I packed Mbappe and I didn't get to see Mbappe walk out because I saw a gold tunnel. It's like, there's no players I'm going to pack that are going to be good. And I packed Mbappe. I was able to sell that Mbappe yesterday for 449,000 coins. So that was incredible. But that's my story about skipping gold pack walkouts. Anyways, speaking of SBCs, one last thing. Guys, I got to talk about prices on the market in terms of SBC fodder. 85s, 86s, they're down. Today with Squad Battle Rewards is probably going to be the time to get involved. Like 2,000 coins on bid if you want to. Get on an 85 rated investment this week. The provisions packs are still there. There's maybe a little bit less demand for 85s this week than last week. I wouldn't expect these to go to 4K like they did, but maybe these go up above 3,000 coins. So if you get them at 2K, I think that's a good investment there. And maybe if you invest in 89s at like 6,500 coins as well. I mean, 89s did hit 8.5 to 9K last week at peak. And last week they did go to 6,000 coins as well. So we'll see if they go that low again. But Sunday mornings have been a great time to get involved on the SBC fodder. But the investment that I want all of us to at least think about, or at least buy a couple of, is informs. We need a lot of informs every single day. And the prices of these went up yesterday to above 13.5K. Right now informs are 12,000 coins, which is actually more expensive than they were last night on the video when we were looking. So what I would tell you to do, and what I'm going to do, is go and bid on some informs here for 11,000 coins. You have to kind of pay 11.5, maybe 11.7, but I think anywhere under 12K is going to be good, especially as we get into the rest of this week. I think that's going to be a fine price to pay for these cards that we're going to need more and more of. This might be a week where informs go to 15K. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but like, guys, if informs rose up yesterday during the weekend league supply, and as somebody who always has a good supply of informs in their club from doing a lot of upgrade packs and doing a lot of menu grind, I'm starting to run out of informs. So that's the one thing to me that's like, all right, I am absolutely going to go buy up some of these informs for 11,000 coins. I think that is a fantastic investment. And if you would like to get involved, I think that'd be a very, very smart thing to do. Hold on one second. I'm going to go list this Tchouaméni card here because I want to get a sale. His price has gone up. We'll talk about these cards in a minute. They dropped a whole lot yesterday, but if I can make a really solid trade on that Tchouaméni, I will be really happy, and that'll be more coins that I can go use to buy informs. So investing in Team of the Weeks, 11,000 coins, thumbs up from me. Now, let's talk about yesterday's evolution and why Evos are going crazy in this game. Maybe you can consider them broken once again. We got the dropping deep Evo yesterday. If you guys have been in the stream recently, you've heard me talking about an evolution that would give center back position to my Vieira, right? Because I wanted to make a Vieira center back card just for fun. Kind of throw it back to FIFA 21 when he was a prime icon moments card that everybody was playing at center back. I get the chance to do that, and we all get the chance to do that with the dropping deep Evo. I don't think this is the Federico Valverde inspired Evo, by the way. That's another thing that we need to discuss in terms of what content could be coming today. But this Evo is a good one. You get a pace boost up to 86. You get the Anticipate Plus. And the second playstyle plus is block. So the Anticipate is definitely good. But the stat boosts are solid. I mean, it's a little tempting to put Tim Ream into this, going to 91 physicality and 91 defending. But after that defending yesterday versus Belgium, is it really 91 defending? Oof. Bad showing from USMNT yesterday. Anyways, this Lucas Bergvall, although he is live and upgrading for the E-Premier League that is going on this weekend, that's a really solid defensive and physical boost, way much more of a boost than he would get if he earns upgrades. So if you have this card, that would be tempting to Evo him inside of that. Other cards that look really good in this, I'm sure that Vidal looks pretty tasty. My Vieira, I'd love to preview that card, but since he's in another Evo, I can't preview him at the moment. Mickey Van de Ven gets +1 defense and physical there and Anticipate. So that one's not super worth it. But if you take a look at Footbin, you can see some really good cards. Mickey Van de Ven is, of course, atop the list here as a center back who fits into this. You've got a 6'9" Toure who's getting into some chains. Nementia's getting into some chains here. There's Vieira. Vieira may be one of the more popular cards in this. I saw a lot of people tweeting about Vieira's base icon card that fits into this. Of course, his Winter Wildcards icon. There's a whole bunch of chains. This is the Vieira that I'm kind of working on at the moment. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to move forward with this, because he's only 89 rated here, which would help him for future Evos. but I may keep him as an 87 and not put him into any of these other ones yet, just to see what other chain evolutions come out. But it does kind of bring memories back of like FIFA 21, where this prime icon Mohamed Vieira as a center mid, center defensive mid was played at center back. Back in the old chemistry system, a CDM at center back would be on 7 chem, and he was an absolutely crazy card. So that's kind of what that reminded a lot of people of. But that's an overall really solid Evo, but it's not necessarily the Evo that is creating the best cards in this game right now. It is definitely a part of some of the chains that we're going to look at in a second. But guys, with the Evos that we have right now, I just looked at Futbin, as I said, and I've seen some crazy Evos over the last couple of days with the chains that have been out. But it feels like it's all coming to a point with some of the small boost Evos that we have, like Party Exit and Over the Top, and big boost Evos like we have with Dropping Deep and Dutch Decider. This Dutch Decider Evo with the Arjen Robben inspired boost is creating some really insane cards in terms of chains. And that's what I'm going to talk about, guys. I learned of something in the past couple of days called stat imbalances on evolutions. And I have to, straight off the top, give a lot of credit here to Nepenthes, because this video popped up on my YouTube and I had not heard anything about this, but I had seen crazy cards like this Gabriel Silva and Almiron and just so many other crazy items out there that people were creating that were gold cards or silver base versions of a card, but they had stats well above 90. And guys, it all comes down to stat imbalances and the overall stats on the card being weighted in certain ways. Nep has a full hour-long video here on his second channel. I'm going to link this in the description down below if you want to really deep dive into this. Really, you don't have to deep dive into it because you can build all these Evo chains on Futbin once you wrap your mind around the concept, which isn't that difficult to understand. But just for a quick peek here, some of the cards that you can create with these lower level starter cards that then get boosted up to pretty crazy ones. This Gerard Martin, I think this might be an expired Evo, so I'm not going to really dive into that one. This Garcia card is a card, obviously it does not say expired path, right? If it's an expired path, it'll say that here on Futbin. This is an Evo you can literally do right now in this game. He is almost club 90. He has 89 passing, and other than that, he is club 90. That is a ridiculous card you can create right there. A Chia Pong is really easy to create here. The Chelsea right back, that's not even that hard to chain, but I digress. How do you create cards like this Gabriel Silva and like all those other ones with the crazy stats? Like we said, it's called stat imbalances and the way that these overall stats on these cards are weighted. What we don't often think about is that inside of the card there's individual stats, and the dribbling stat inside of the overall dribbling stat on the card, or the short passing stat on the overall passing stat on the card, the individual statistics are weighted at certain percentages that are not equal compared to all the rest. So like this dribbling on the dribbling stat in-game stat is 45%, I believe, of the entire overall dribbling stat. And it just depends on which overall stat you're looking at, what individual stats boosted the most. The Pendes has a great breakdown here. It's a Gemini post, so it's an AI thing. I don't know if this is something EA have ever really said themselves, but it's been calculated based on how Evos work, and people have figured it out. So it's all about the stat breakdown. And the way you make the cards really crazy like this is by boosting up their individual stats through chain evolutions. That's what creates the nuts cards. Like in the middle of this Gabriel Silva chain, where he starts as a 74 rated silver card, in the middle of this chain where you can see he goes into Party Exit Evo a whole bunch of times, that is boosting up his agility stat and his dribbling stat. He's got a 90 agility and 94 dribbling. Actually, this Evo does only boost dribbling, I believe, up to 94, the in-game dribbling stat. So what you're trying to do with these Evos is create stat imbalances where you have a really high for dribbling, a really high dribbling stat, agility or balance, or for passing, a really high short, long pass, and vision, because those are the ones that are weighted the highest. If you get your stats maxed out or as close to maxed out there as you can, then your overall stat, once you boost up the rest of the lower weighted ones, is going to end up being super high, because the weight is so heavy on those crucial stats that you already upgraded through those Evos, right? That's kind of the thing that it takes a minute to wrap your mind around, but that's how this works. Stat imbalances, right? You get the important stats as high as possible while keeping the overall rating as low as possible, so that then after you boost up a card through the over-the-top Evo or the party exit like we have here with Gabriel Silva. As you can see here, he goes through all of these chain evos. Goal machine to boost up his shooting, over the top scorer to boost up his shooting as well. Then at the end, he goes into South American Stars, dish him out from the season pass, locked and loaded, sweep and supply, and then Dutch decider. And that's what takes him to 96 dribbling, 93 shooting, 91 passing. So it's kind of like you boost up those individual stats that are key to the card, those highly weighted stats, and then you boost up everything and your card goes absolutely nuclear. Now, this is something that's going to continue to work in this game as long as EA keep releasing chain evolutions that don't boost the overall, which I will say, I'm looking at a card like this Vieira. I've got 11 more repeats on this party exit Evo, and that's a crucial one for a lot of these chains. This Evo does expire today. That's the end of this Evo. To put cards into it is at the content drop time today. So if you're wanting to do this Zaire Emery, it says expired path. The only expired Evos in this path are the rolls. You can do this Evo right now. If you still have goal machine, if you still have top scorer, if you have party exit left, Euro mini trip, he doesn't even use very many party exits, as you can see there. But this 89 rated Zaire Emery, like at the very end, you do have to put him into the dropping deep Evo, but still, like that is a ridiculous card that you can build right now just through a combination of chain Evos, a couple of season pass Evos that you don't even have to be a super high level to get, and one big marquee Evo at the end. Now, this one's a really easy one here. I said the Chiapong for Chelsea was an easy build. All you have to do for him is put him into Euro Trio, Party Exit, Dropping Deep, 5-star skills if you want, and then Dutch Decider. I mean, look, because this card has right mid, that's what you can create, and that's a pretty crazy one there. So that is the way that Evos are kind of like broken and busted at the moment. If you guys have rolled up to any competitions like Rivals or Foot Champs, and you've seen somebody using like a gold non-rare card or a gold rare card or a silver item with like absolutely ridiculous stats, that is how people are creating those Evos. Again, if you want more in-depth, I know some people really want to dive deep into this and they want to get into the intricacies of it. Check out Nepenthes' video. But if you don't, and you just want to mess around with some Evos and Footbin like I did, just go to Footbin, click on a low-rated player like a gold card, like 83 rated or below, and just start applying some of these Evos that are kind of the stat boost, and then apply some of the other big ones at the end, and you'll see your card. It's kind of crazy. Like, this has been working for a long time, and some people have had this figured out for a while. But like, there's some points when certain Evos line up and certain creations are made, especially when you go on the Footbin popular page and you're seeing cards like this. You're like, hold on, how are people doing this? It just kind of comes to a point where it connects and it clicks. And that's what's happening right now with Evos. And I think it's especially interesting because these cards keep their card designs. Like, look at the state of this. Sir Lord Kanta, a card that I've had in my club for ages as a silver player from the beginning of the year. 95 pace, 94 shooting, and 96 dribbling. Now, this one might be actually expired, but you get the gist. You can create some really crazy Evos right now with what is going on in evolutions. Now, let's kind of take a pause on that conversation for a moment and talk about the market, a place that motivates me a lot on this game. We got to talk about Road to the Finals, guys. I mean, I had bought a Schumann card for 1.3, as you saw that there. Was that a really good buy? I'm not going to say that it was, because his price has been dropping all day. Hopefully we can get a quick flip. But as I look at the market, nobody seems to want to buy these Road to the Final cards. They just keep going down. That's the only way that they've been moving in the last day on this market. Now, one of the reasons that they're going down is because EA released a Hymn of Glory guarantee pack yesterday, and I did not realize that this was tradable right away, and I lost some coins. I tried trading a Schumann earlier in the day. He dropped in price, and a lot of the Road to the Finals dropped in price heavily, I think, because of weekend league supply and this pack right here, a guarantee pack that gives you a guarantee Road to the Final player, tradable. That is going to bring some supply to the market. It also supplies fodder on the market, tradable as well. I mean, guys, you take a look at a player like, the Schumann who we've mentioned, the Musiala. This Musiala was selling for over like close to 2 million coins, at least 1.8 yesterday. He's now 1.2. He was just 1.1 million coins. I sold Sorloth. You guys watch me on stream sell Sorloth for over 450,000 coins on Friday night. He's 215,000 coins. Hincapie was 1.5 mil, 700K. Now, where are these prices going to go? Because these are live cards, and they're cards that a lot of us are really interested in investing in. I think these cards are going to be good investments either late today or tomorrow. I'm going to be really curious to see if that store pack refreshes. Here we are, another week, another promo where we're a little bit worried about, does the store pack refresh, and do these cards on the market get supplied from, somewhere other than just Foot Champs rewards? Is there another avenue of supply that EA is putting in to mess with the market? And if that's the case, if that store pack does refresh today, these could go down even further, but these are going to be good investments. I like the women's cards, especially because I think they have games that are upcoming this week. I think that's something to consider, but I also like the Conference League. I like the Europa League cards. I love the Champions League cards. There's plenty of items in here that I think even can rise through Trophy Titans. I'm a little worried about Trophy Titans. I understand that. But guys, road to the final in years past, with it being Champions League related, with it being some of the big names that they put in this promo, road to the final cards have kind of transcended all other cards in the market in terms of, or maybe you could say transcended all other trends on the market. I just remember multiple times in the past years when this promo has been going on that road to the final cards just kept rising. They barely ever dropped, even with big promos coming along. They barely ever dropped because people just wanted to buy these cards. So all that to say, I think today/tomorrow on Monday is going to be a good time to invest in these. The cheaper cards I feel a whole lot safer on than the expensive ones, but the expensive ones are a bit more rare and they have some really, really crazy stats and there's some really big names. So that part of the market is a place that I'm watching very closely, but I don't want to splash too much cash yet. These Schumannis would definitely just be a quick flip. They would not be a long-term investment for me, so that is just a quick flip for sure, but we'll look to maybe invest for the next couple of weeks here soon in the next couple of days. But the rest of the market's doing great. These Answer the Call cards, holy have they cooked. Harry Maguire's 200,000 coins. He was 130K. Joao Neves, I thought I was good selling at 470. The bro is 600,000 coins right now. That might be a bit of a rarity spike. It looks like his average price is 500, but still, that's crazy. Adeyemi's up to 340. Gravenberch 620. Conte 600,000 coins as well. A lot of the market's doing very good in the out of packs sector. The FUT birthday cards, not quite as much. These are still just a mixed bag because you do have some cards doing really good. Like Iñaki Williams is going up. Igor Thiago, Dante, some of the low rated ones doing good. Even Manu is doing all right. Ekitike and Barcola are doing really solid too. But then Doku still 700,000 coins. ASM still 470,000 coins. Maybe that's up a little bit, but these don't feel safe to me still at the moment. It just doesn't seem like 100% a good investment with people not maybe buying as many of those cards to put into the Bakery Evolution still. So that's kind of the state of the market at the moment. I love the informs. I want to invest in road to the final cards, but I just want to wait and see how low they go today on Sunday and then into tomorrow on Monday. Now, speaking of Sunday content today, we've got a couple of things on our mind. Now, speaking of Evos, back to that. We are still very, very curious, or at least I am, about this Federico Valverde inspired Evo because the Arjen Robben Dutch Decider Evo was a pretty good one. 75,000 coins, the big boost, and some of the insane chains that we just looked at. But the Federico Valverde one could also be like that. Now, it's a bit interesting that EA dropped a center defensive mid Evo yesterday that gives, yes, the center back position. So that is definitely not the Federico Valverde inspired one, especially because it mentions Valverde's hat trick in the first half against Man City. So maybe there'd be a scoring play style there or something. I don't exactly know. So I don't know if they're going to drop another CM Evo the day after they drop a CDM Evo, but that Valverde Evo is definitely going to be sometime this week. And usually we see the biggest Evos on the weekend. So we'll just have to wait and see if that one comes today. Watch out for the leaks. I'm sure those will be put out before the content time today. Also, speaking of content time, if you are in the USA or anywhere where there was time change earlier in the month of March, clocks go forward in the UK today, I believe. In Europe as well, clocks go forward. So content time is going to go back to quote unquote normal. So 1 p.m. Eastern. If you're in Eastern time zone like me, it's been 2 p.m. Eastern for the past almost month. Now it's going to go back to normal. Europe guys, let us know how are you doing with the time change today. How are you doing with clocks going forward? It's never a fun time. Hopefully you're able to get some extra rest knowing that was going to be coming. Anyways, rest of content today on Sunday. SBC wise, of course, you got the refreshes of the daily refreshing road to the final upgrade, which we absolutely love, but we still have a list of SBC players that are not released yet, including the showdown for Savaba and Bussy, which was not yesterday. I'm really interested in the Silas card because FIFA Legends Silas, I'm super down for that. Also, it just kind of occurred to me, is that going to be the FUT favorite that EA kind of mentioned that we talked about in yesterday's video, where we were talking, ooh, maybe Thiago Silva, ooh, maybe Neymar, right? Neymar, what's the likelihood of that? Slim to none. Let's be completely honest. There's a slim to none chance of that happening. EA have not shown that they want to actually exercise the Brazilian league rights, which they're definitely getting somewhere with that. We've seen on Twitter, we talked about that. They're getting somewhere with that, but it doesn't look like they're getting close enough to that to want to drop a Neymar in the game. I don't know, but is that Silas card going to be the one? Like, that's looking at this leak and then connecting the dots. If that's the one, that might be a little bit anticlimactic. I digress. That Silas card is still leaked. Tielemans is leaked. We do have Cannavaro still as an icon SBC that has not been dropped either. Not that that one's going to be super hype, but one of those player SBCs is going to be today. Maybe it's a Women's Champions League card instead of the men's ones that we're looking at there. So some sort of player SBC for sure. And I wanted to mention this. The icon pack is set to expire today as well. I don't know if you guys are still doing icon packs in this day and age, but the 88 plus encore icon upgrade is set to expire, and there was no new icon pack added to the code this last week except for the max 88 one, which sounds completely wrong for where we'd want to be at this stage of the game. But I don't think, unless I've missed it, I don't think we've seen a max 88 encore icon player pack. I don't think we've seen an 89 plus encore icon upgrade pack added to the code, like something that would improve upon this SBC. Of course, we still have the icon player pick, I believe, out right now. And guys, I haven't done icon player picks, campaign picks. I have not done those in a very long time. We have the hero pack that was released last week as well. That's still going to be around. So I don't know if you guys are interested in doing icon player picks or packs at this stage of the game, but I don't know what's going on with the pack expiring today. We will just have to see. I'm scrolling all the way back here in the upgrades because I think that the year in review player pick, or whatever that one is called, that we got on Friday, the campaign rewind. Yeah, the campaign rewind, which is the player pick that gives you the SBC cards from earlier in the year, that is refreshing today. So there is a chance that you could do that again if you wanted to today, but probably going to say skip for me. And if I could even say skip for you, I would, because man, the wait on those were absolutely terrible. So I'm going to try to sell these Schumannis that I have here before his price maybe drops even further today. I'm going to go invest in some informs, and I will maybe see you guys on the stream today. It's not 100% confirmed that we'll be on, but I'd like to be on to see what content EA drop and also watch the road to the final market. Let me know how you're doing in Weekend League. Let me know how you're doing in the road to the final league as well. I haven't played any games. I need to get involved in that. Also in the Triple Threat League to finish off some of my Evos. Again, super important. Do your Triple Threat League games every day just for the Evos. Who cares about this objective if you already have it done? But literally just go into there, start your Evos in your team, score 3 own goals, game ends, it counts for the Evos. Doesn't give you like a lost disconnect or anything like that, and boom, you're good to go. So let me know what Evos you might be going and trying to create as well after watching this video, and maybe if you're going to go watch the Penthez's video, some more of the details of knowledge that you can learn from that one there. But I'm trying to use some of what I learned there to put into a Vieira here, to put into the Cruyff, who are still semi-low rated, and then also maybe start a little chefing up of a USA men's Evo using some of those chain Evos that EA have been releasing, and hopefully they keep giving us more of those on this game. If you guys enjoyed this one, drop a thumbs up on the video, comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in a video tomorrow at the very least, or a stream today. Happy Sunday. It's been TheFutAccountant. See you there. Peace out.